welcome to the African Diaspora News Channel. I'm Dagny Zenovia. John Boyega has resigned as Jo Malone's global ambassador after the brand replaced him in an ad campaign that he wrote and directed. Let's get into the facts. In 2019, Jo Malone, a luxury fragrance brand, announced John Boyega as their first male global ambassador to feature him in a variety of campaigns and ads. In this collaboration, John Boyega wrote and directed a short film campaign ad called London Gent. The film illustrated John reminiscing on memories about his real-life family and friends. The short film won Best Media Campaign at the 2020 Fragrance Foundation Virtual Awards. John resigned as Jo Malone's global ambassador because the brand replaced him with a local Chinese actor in the Chinese version of the ad that he wrote and directed. He found out about this via social media. John announced his decision to the public via Twitter, where he wrote that Jo Malone's decision to replace him in the Chinese ad without his consent or notice was wrong. Later, Jo Malone did apologize and posted a statement on their website saying that the decision was a mistake. They then also removed the local Chinese version of the ad. Now let's look at a clip comparing side by side John Boyega's short film, which he wrote and directed, and the local Chinese version of his ad. As you can see, basically everything black was removed from the ad. According to an article on Blvd this is not the first time John Boyega has had to deal with this type of frustration. This is also not the first time that there's been peculiar behavior when it comes to Black people being shown in ads for the Chinese market. For example, for the last Star Wars movie, the original ad had John Boyega's face on it. The Chinese version of the ad basically removed by drastically minimizing his face in the ad. The Chinese advertising industry also faced some backlash earlier this year when an ad for laundry detergent showed a Black man going into the washing machine and then afterwards coming out looking like a Chinese person, as if the detergent removed or cleaned up his Blackness. It's not looking good all around, whichever angle you look at it. For John Boyega, he has been quite vocal publicly about these sorts of issues and has had to do a lot of fighting for himself, starting with being a part of the Star Wars franchise. The disappointing thing about this is, one, the film that he directed and wrote was actually really cool and really did a nice job of showcasing not only him and his story, but also illustrating the Black identity, Black immigrant identity in London. This really could have been an opportunity to introduce that to the Chinese advertising market, where there are some holes in understanding about Black people, and there are also quite a number of Black people living in China itself. So one does have to ask, who actually made that decision? It's another thing to film an entire clip, verbatim, copying someone else's clip without the person who created it in it. That kind of takes this to a whole other level, not only for copyright infringement, but also like proactively erasing Black people visually. Because when it comes to advertising, yes, you do need to adapt. All products adapt to the culture. A Coca-Cola ad in America is not the same as a Coca-Cola ad in Mexico or China or South Africa. It is common knowledge that you will create a different ad for each market because you need to play to the culture of that market. But that only works if you, the brand, had created the ad. If you had created the ad and just asked John to step in and do it, and then you have different actors step in and do it, so it's a similar seamless thing, that's one thing. But you had John completely write and direct. This whole thing has him all over it, like it's his story. You can't take his story and remove him from it. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching. I'm Dagny Zenovia, and I'll see you in the next report.